Jack, what's up, man?
Hey Brad, how's it going?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Doing well, good to see you. What are you doing around here today?
I'm about to kick it with my homegirl, Destiny Rogers. She's actually a recording artist, does pop and R&B, put out this really like crazy good album called Still Your Girl in the spring.
What can I get you guys to drink?
Oh yeah, she's right behind me, so if you could, a Buco Gimlet and a mojito.
Yeah, for sure, I got you.
All right, my man, appreciate it.
Hey!
Yo,
How are you?
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, you've been to Death and Co before?
No.
Okay, well.
No, it's my first time.
You've officially been initiated with your first sip of the cocktail.
Sweet.
Man, we have so much to get to. I'll just start by kind of ripping a Band-Aid off. I don't want to do too much softball stuff. I know you're a toughie anyway. So, big fan of this. Are we saying this is this was your first album?
This is my first album.
Proper album, because
Yeah.
you've had projects before.
Yeah.
Okay, so Still Your Girl.
Yeah.
Incredible piece of work.
Thank you so much.
So good.
Thank you.
I really, because you released so many different pieces of content around the project. There was like a therapy series, but
Yeah.
there was also like these little vignettes that you posted. There was traditional music videos. I want to get started with probably the most simple, but also the highest impact video that you did. I imagine it was shot on an iPhone or like or your cell phone or something like that, and it was you making this phone call to your dad, where you came out as bisexual. Obviously a massive deal. I want to talk about the main thing that I noticed within like the first 5 seconds, which was stress. Your hair was in a ponytail and you were talking to yourself, the audience, the people that you would eventually share it with, and you were like, about to call my dad, I'm about to say this thing, let's see how it goes. And then after you do it, just like your hair's down, big exhale, and I think if I remember correctly, you said something to the effect of like, I'll never have to do this again.
Yeah.
It was like a sense of freedom. So
Yeah.
the first thing that I really want to talk about is what was it like before, and what was that feeling immediately after sharing that with your dad for the first time?
I'm a daddy's girl, and he is like the worship pastor, and I just was afraid of what his mindset was, and I didn't want to lose him. So yeah, before I knew I wanted to record this and eventually use it as a piece of content for people who are afraid to come out to their parents, and just use it to promote the album and stuff like that. So yeah, like my hair was tied back. It was earlier in the day when I had called my dad. I turned on my little photo booth on my MacBook Pro and set it up like that. Like I had my own station. Like
Yeah.
I was ready for this.
Okay.
And when I had first called him during the day, he's still a musician. He'd still be doing like little gigs or whatever. And I said, hey Dad, can I call you? And he's like, yes, call me now. And I was like, all right, cool. So I called him. It's like 3 p.m. And I'm like, hey Dad. And I could hear him with a group of people. And he's like, I'm going on stage in 5 minutes. What's going on, sweetheart? And I was like, ooh. I was like, I can't do this right now.
His mind is not going to be right for the stage.
No, he was like, I'm about to go on in 5 minutes. You okay? And I was like, call me after. Call me after. I'm good. Yeah, call me after. So then he calls me after, and it's like 10:30 at night. And like I said, the next day, I told you, and I was going to Paris the next day. So I was like, regardless of how this call goes, I'm on a flight tomorrow, and I could feel free and just enjoy my life without having that weight on me, and I never have to feel it ever again. So yeah, my dad calls me. I run him through the conversation. I've practiced this conversation to myself so many times, so it just flowed right out. My dad took it as like, okay, thanks for telling me. Sorry that you've been feeling depressed and that you had to hide that. However, this isn't part of God's word, and I will pray for you to get through it to the other side. You're still my daughter. I'm not going to disown you. I'm your father. I love you. I'm not going anywhere. And he was like, I don't support that, but I support you to get through it.
Right.
When that was said to me on the phone, I was just like, okay, well, that's his answer, and I got it off. End of conversation. Not until I hung up the phone was when I started crying.
And
Yeah.
what were the tears?
The tears were not out of like, oh, I hated his answer, but it was like I wish I got what I wanted, at least from one of my parents, which was, that's okay, baby. Like, I love you. Whoever you want to be with, that's okay. We support you, and I just want someone that's going to treat you right. I didn't get that.
Yeah, and I was gonna see, and you hit exactly where I was gonna go, which is when I'm watching that video, essentially the first half of that is like perfect. Great, love you, here for you. So I'm watching that as a viewer and as like a, you know, a dad to young girls, and I'm like, oh, he's killing it, he's killing it, he's killing it. And then he gets to like the we'll pray for you portion of the conversation, and I'm like, shit, all right, like it's a phase or something like that. Like we're like you said, we're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, you know, after X amount of prayers, some holy water, maybe some deep thought, you won't like girls anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work out like that, as I understand it, right?
Yeah.
So
no, and trust me, I've tried tried to pray it out of me my whole life, growing up in church and stuff, and it was never, it just never happened. You know, and so as I got older, I learned to accept that this is literally part of me. Instead of running away from it, just own it and live your life and be who you are.
I've got a date with destiny, like for real. We're meeting at LA's world famous original farmers market. Dez just got back in town from touring. We all know her best as someone who rocks stages, but today she wants to share another gift with me, her cooking skills.
why are we here, and like, what's your thing with cooking?
My thing with cooking, so I started grilling in 2020 during the pandemic. It was like my little hobby that I was doing. But I grew up in a Hispanic household where my family would just cook all the time. Yeah. We'd barbecue, we'd make everything, and cooking and grilling was a way for us to just all come together as a family and bond and hang out with each other. So I knew I wanted to extend that feeling for my future family, my future kids, and get good at cooking now while I'm not with a family or anything like that, so that when that time comes, we're ready. But yeah, right now, yeah, I cook for my friends, and I'm always grilling and inviting people over and stuff. So
That's good to me.
I can't wait to do it for you.
In a while, more than ready.
Let's do it.
The original farmers marketplace, I've never been before.
Yeah.
Bunch of great spots. The one we're about to hit up is
Look at this beef jerky. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're at Huntington Meats. You know, I know you're a massive fan of getting on the grill and chefing it up.
Oh yeah.
So
this is actually my first time at a butcher. I usually just like go to Ralph. So this is new for me, but I'm excited and I'm ready to learn and get to it.
Let's talk to Johnny.
Let's do it.
Yeah, on the title track, Still Your Girl, I think there's a line that goes something like, you know, you say that you're tired of playing hide and seek. And, you know, obviously not being able to be your full self for anybody, you know, whether it's, you know, a barista who really wants to be a singer or something like that, like that's its own portion of pain and heartache, let alone, you know, something as basic and simple as like who you like, who you want to spend time with, and who you fall in love with. What was hiding like from a feeling aspect prior to being able to come out? Because not only did you come out to your parents, but you had been closeted from your friends as well. So there's like this massive chunk of life where it was just you and your thoughts.
Well, at the time, I felt like I was okay because I was just masking who I was my entire life. I knew that I liked girls since I was like 5 years old. Like I was having crushes on girls like on my softball team. And that's when I knew, I'm like, but I have this same feeling towards boys. Like, what is this? Like, I like both. But, you know, I'm a kid, so I'm like going through life until I was like 10 years old. And then I heard about bisexual, and I'm like, well, what's bisexual? And then my friends at school were like, wouldn't you like girls and guys? And I was like, I think I cracked the code. So I've known, but growing up, I just was always told from my religious background, if you're gay, you're going to hell. And that put so much fear and anxiety in me at a young age.
Not a place you're trying to go, of course.
Absolutely not. Because I'm like, I'm a good person. Like, I do good in this world, and I love people, and I'm happy. But damn, if I'm going to hell, then this is not cool. You know, I can't be this
reward
person.
Factor, yeah.
I can't be this. So I did the praying thing. I prayed. I'm like, God, if you're real, heal me. You know, and it never happened. And so I came to accept the fact that, okay, well, I like boys, so I'll just only like boys for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I'll only be with boys. I will never date a girl. I will never talk to a girl. I will not marry a girl. Boys, 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 boys.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, I had a couple boyfriends that I did genuinely like, but I wasn't in love. So I'm just like masking everything. That's when I had moved to LA in 2019. Yeah. Just signed a deal, just put Tomboy out. I was on tour and I was doing all this cool shit like in 2019. And then at that same time, that's when I had met a girl that I liked more than just a friend. And she liked me more than just a friend. And we both decided to be together. I was closeted, she was closeted. We both came to agreement like, yo, like if we're not ready, that's okay. We could still, at the end of the day, we know where we stand. So let's be together, and when we're ready, we'll tell the people we want.
Right.
For like the first year, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even tell my best friend, even though my best friend kind of had an idea. Right. I didn't tell my best friend. I didn't tell my team. My label didn't know. My parents didn't know. My sister didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. And then the first person I told was my best friend. And then about 6 months after that, that's when me and my ex had broken up. So my best friend was the only one that knew, that was helping me get through my breakup. She was always like, check, because I live alone. So I'm always, if I'm depressed and I'm stuck in bed, I don't have anyone in the house telling me to get up and shower. Right. So I'm in bed. Like
I was just about to ask, like, what does depressed Des look like?
Depressed Des looks like she will not get out of bed. She will not feed herself. She will not shower. She'll not take care of herself. When I have anxiety or I'm sick or whatever feeling, it goes straight to my gut. Like I'm a stomach feeler. Like I feel sick. I was losing weight. I was tiny and I wasn't talking to anyone. Like people were asking me like, yo, where are you at? Are you at, like, you come to the studio today? Yeah. I didn't want to talk to anyone because I knew if I walk in a place, everyone's going to know something's wrong. They're going to ask me what's wrong, and I'm going to have to come out, and I'm not ready for that.
So you're dealing with all that stuff, and I guess rewind a little bit. When you first came out, because there is, and this is an interesting thing, there is an in-between period where you're in a relationship and you came out to your best friend.
Yeah.
Though that's its own little, like, I guess at the time it felt, I'm sure it felt massive, but it's not, you know, hey, hello world, I'm really out there. What was that? What was their reaction? Your best friend received you in the ideal manner, or was like, I knew it, or like, what was the, yeah.
She's like, well, duh. Like, she's like, well, duh. She's like, I knew, like, I see you guys in real life. Like, I know something was going on. She's like, I don't care. Like, so what? Happy for you. That's it. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just that. Yeah, it was simple as that.
But that didn't like embolden you, because one would think that if you got one plus over here, you're like, my best friend is cool. Maybe you know, my studio cats would be cool. Maybe these other friends would be cool. But you were still like, you want to keep it close to the vest.
Yeah, I just wanted to take my time. Like I was like, one is enough, and like one is enough right now. Right. Like to fill that void for me. And then the breakup was what led me to come out to my team now, because I needed to like write.
Now, most of us simple folk just grab steak at the local grocery store. But since I've got a special guest, we had to do things a bit differently. We're stepping up to Huntington Meats Link with John Hollywood Escobedo and get the best cuts the city has to offer us to grill later.
Okay. I got you. How you doing?
How's it going?
I'm Destiny.
Good to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for letting me back here.
Yeah, no worries. What we got here is Australian Wagyu tenderloin, and we're going to show you a prime tenderloin.
Okay.
Also, this is a step above as far as flavor, tenderness goes. This is a marble score 8 to 9. I'll show you this here. So, for instance, on the ribeye, you can see all the marbling in here. So what happens here is when you cook, all that fat melts and soaks into the meat.
Yeah.
And so it creates air pockets. So now when you're cutting that muscle, it's really tender.
Yeah.
Really nice chew with the rich flavor.
Yeah.
So on a fillet, fillets are a little different. Now off this Wagyu, if you look at this one here, you don't see much marbling,
right? But
the meat's a lot more tender because it's got, the fat it has, it's real buttery.
Yeah.
But if you look at the other side, now you can show some marbling.
Yeah.
You know, so if you see that, so that's what you want to look for.
Yeah.
Is all your marbling.
Yeah.
For your nice, rich, tender flavor.
Yeah.
Buttery.
Juicy. Yeah.
Exactly. Your prime has a lot of marbling in there too. You got a lot of rich flavor in both of them, but this is just a notch higher. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a couple different ones.
Okay.
we're gonna have you try them out.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
So your seasoning, we always say like on a prime or even a Wagyu cracked pepper, sea salt.
Yep.
Works great.
Yep.
But you could always do, you know, if you wanted something different, you could always do to taste. So I usually use like a kind of a Montreal type mix.
Oh yeah, that's me. That's me right there.
It's good stuff,
yeah,
right?
that's my shit. Yeah.
Everything's coarse. You know, you got some coriander in there.
Yeah.
Sprinkle over the top, and then from there we're gonna go to a sear, whether it's a barbecue or a grill.
Yep.
Or flat grill. You want to just sear something like this. I would say minute and a half each side.
Yep.
And then indirect heat, probably 6 minutes max. And that's one thing about a fillet. You want that nice and rare inside. When you cut it, it brings out the most flavor out of it. On a fillet, you don't want to cook that all the way through.
Yeah.
Because the more well done it is, the less flavor and juice you have.
Right.
So what do you have planned for this?
I usually do. I love the grill marks on it, so I do like the cross hatch mark. So I do 2, flip it 2, then or 2, side 2, and then I flip it 2. So it's just like a perfect medium.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's still a warm pink center. I can't get with the bloody shit.
Yeah, I got
like
you.
the bloodiness kind of freaks me out a little bit.
A lot of people, you know, they're not into the rare. When I cook for my family, they always kick it back. They're like, it's not done
can you
yet.
grill it again? Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Like, it's not done yet. I'm like, well,
I know, that's
really understand the whole,
exactly.
like, this is a nice looking prime one here. You can already tell on this one. Now look at the marbling on this. Almost the same.
Okay. These are Wagyu cattles?
This is
Wagyu cattles.
And this is an Angus.
Okay.
You're going to get more of a buttery flavor out of here. Here you get a little bit of a bolder taste. Makes it super tender, super rich.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? Like,
I've been doing this 39 years now.
oh wow.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for a while. I took it to heart. I really love to cut meat, and I really love to cut custom cuts for individuals that are looking for something specific. I'm going to give you all 10 of them.
Chill, that's so cool.
You can actually see what's really going on.
Oh, you're the best, dude. Oh my God. That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we just got blessed by Johnny. Big shout out for the extra love from Hunters and Meats. And now we got a prime cut, we got a Wagyu cut.
Let's do it.
Ain't nothing left to do but to cook it.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
and so one of my favorite tracks on the album is Yellow Notepad, and that's kind of like, it's written in an interesting perspective in that it seems like the first thing that I thought about was what it's like to be in an argument.
Yeah.
My first question for you in relation to that song is like, are you someone who has like thoughts existing on notepads? You keep journals, you have things like that?
So since that was my first breakup, I really didn't know how to like express my feelings and how to even communicate with someone. I'm not like the argument type, like I'm not a fiery person. So if like you were in order to start a conversation with me and it gets into a heated argument, I'm not the type to bark back like right away.
Okay.
I'm more of like, I hear you. Give me a second and we could talk. I'll go into the room, calm down, think about how I'm gonna say, and then I'll come back and execute. And I'll be like, okay. I just don't like arguing. I think because I was raised with parents that argued all the time, that I cannot like continue the cycle, you know? So when I would get in arguments or something like that, I would go on my phone and I would be honest, like, listen, I can't have this conversation right now. Could I call you back in 10 minutes? I go on my phone or my journal and I'd be like, okay, what do I want to say? How did that make me feel? And then always tell myself my feelings are valid. So just be straight up.
That's great.
And I'd call back and I'd be like, hey, so after that, I want to let you know, this is my answer to that. This is how I'm feeling. This is how it made me feel and all this stuff. And unless you like completely like did some crazy stuff to where it's like, okay, you know, then that's when the switch will go off. But if I was still in love with her during this argumentative process that I didn't want to, you know, bring her down. But no, journaling and obviously songwriting and going in my notes in my phone. That's what Yellow Notepad is about. You know, me just going in my notes on my phone and that was a way of having me being able to express everything.
I don't think I've ever met someone in their 20s with that ability to kind of step away a lot of us are still, maybe me, a lot of us are still guilty of, you know, not necessarily avoiding oncoming traffic, but more so running toward it. Just like, oh, we arguing, so let's argue. And for you to be like, okay, listen, I'm feeling myself wrapping up. I'm just gonna go ahead and step to the side real quick, get it together. That's an interesting trait. And a great one, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's because I was like a little like, I'd be gaslighted and being told like, you're just sensitive. That's you can't have an adult conversation. You're sensitive. That's why you always gotta walk away. I'm like, no, that's not it.
It's not weakness. It's
not weakness. Because I'm listening to everything you're telling me, and I'm taking it. And you're talking shit, and I'm taking it. But hold up, like let me like. Let me go gather my thoughts real quick, and I'll come right back. Yeah.
The thing about this relationship that I find really interesting, just from the album experience, is like you're super vulnerable about talking about, you know, the ins and outs of the beginning, the middle, and of course the end. And one of my favorite lines, I think, in Yellow Notepad is you're alluding to like this power that she has over you, and. You know, and then later on in the album, you're like, if no one told me love was going to be like this, you know, what is, people have compared to so many things, love is a roller coaster, love is like this, love is like that. Being so deep and being enamored, being in love, all these things, what was that ride for you like? Because this was like, you said, you'd been in relationships before, but like, this was like, at that moment in your life, the peak. What was that ride like for you, and kind of losing yourself in, you know, the duo versus like Destiny as a solo show?
That's a good question. That I've never been asked, but love to me, like during that time, it was fucking awesome. When I love hard, and I care about people that I love, and I'll do anything, my feelings aside, I will put you first. I'll make sure that you eat before I do. Make sure that you know, get to this place on time before I do. You know what I mean? So I put a lot of people first before me, especially in that relationship. I was also young. I was 19, 20. So I was just having fun. I really don't know what answer like to give. I just kind of want to just tell you like how I felt being in love. And like I realized a lot about love even after I was single, and being like, wow, I was like really not taking care of myself. I really wasn't making sure I had time to myself, because every moment that if I'm not working, I'd go straight to her. I'd go hang out with her and spend hours, and then I found myself being uncomfortable with being by myself. I'd be like, oh, I need her. I want to call her. I want FaceTime. I wanted this. I wanted that. I want her here, because she would come around. Like she would come to my video shoots, my studio sessions, my shows. She was backstage with me all the time. So like I needed that companion. And then I didn't realize till after we broke up, I was really alone. And that's when I was like, who am I? I was like, I don't know who I am no more.
I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. When I'm at home, it's my wife who's cooking the steak. So Destiny is definitely the teacher today, and class is in session.
All right, so we got Prime and we got Wagyu, and we have several of each. How many do you want to get down with?
2 for me, 2 for you, so we can taste both.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
All right.
Do you remember which is which by chance? And it's the perfect like temperature. You always want to make sure that when you're grilling your meat that it's like not straight from the fridge cold, because it's not going to cook that well.
That's right.
Delish. Okay. So we got our 4 little hockey puck things.
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna get into the seasoning. This is my favorite part. I use just kosher salt. Yep, kosher salt. You don't want too much because it's gonna be salty. All right, and then I massage it in, flip it over, same thing. I'll let you do this side. Teamwork.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
Little snowfall.
Yep. And then I'll actually let you season it all, and I'll just massage it in.
Sounds
so
good.
let's do pepper now.
Okay.
And I like this pepper because you can flip it over and twist like this.
White peppercorns.
Yeah. Perfect.
All those episodes of The
Amazing.
Bear.
Amazing.
That got me. Urgency is key.
Let's do the garlic salt now.
I love this. I need you for affirmations. Just someone just to be like,
I know, right?
Well done.
That'd be nice.
You did that well.
That'd be nice. I need to preheat the grill for maybe like 10 minutes to get it to the right temperature before we put these on so that it's like literally solid. Last but not least, Montreal.
What is Montreal season?
I don't know, but my uncle told me to get it, and it's the best decision I've ever made, and I have never turned my back on her.
All right, what are you doing? This is like you're getting that residual.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't forget the sides, so all the leftovers that no one gets left out, you know?
Not mad at it.
So, just like so. So these are ready to go. I need to turn the grill on now and get her warmed up, so let's go do that.
Did you experience some of those things? I remember, especially when I was younger, in some of my earlier relationships, what would happen is we would be so involved in the two of us that eventually you get that call from the homies like, dang dog, we ain't seen you in a minute. Or, you know, were you incorporating other people? Oh no, you were closeted. Both of y'all were closeted. So,
yeah.
so
we
both
were.
So both of y'all were just like, you were like, it was a whole universe of just two people.
If we hung out with people, we were friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be in our own little universe. We were in our own world.
That's wow.
Even when we were out in public together, we would just be so intimate with each other and we'd forget the whole people around us like don't exist.
But only on the greatest of friend level in public.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because, you know, going back to, you know, the hide and seek thing, even when you were experiencing at that time that the joy of your life, it's like, oh, we can't hold hands, you know. And so what does hiding look like? Hiding like this incredible love in plain sight. Like how are you I love youing in the bar when the homies are right there, you know what I mean? Because that's a tough task.
Walk to the bathroom,
There
bro.
you go. There you go. There you go.
Excuse ourselves and go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot something in my car. Come with me. Those little like, where did Destiny and so-and-so go? Like,
Then you do that cut, that ... 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, like, hey
no,
guys.
literally. I'm like, we're back. Sorry it took so long.
Found the cell phone, found the whatever.
No, yeah. That was pretty much it. Like we weren't touchy. We'd probably pull up to wherever we were going with our friends, like together, so we could like hold hands in the car right there,
Yeah.
hop out. Okay, I don't know you really that much right now. I'm gonna go over there.
You know, fast forwarding a little bit and kind of stepping away from the album. Obviously, the video that we're talking about with your dad, you put it out this year in the midst of, you know, the album and stuff like that. But that happened in 2022.
Yeah.
I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, you're only 2 years old in the sense of being your full self. I imagine maybe it's like a night and day experience, but like, what do you see within yourself post breakup, post being out and, you know, not needing to hide anything, especially these core things about yourself? How does it feel?
It feels amazing because I never thought that I'd get to this point, because I thought forever I would have to I chose to hold it in. Like I made that promise to myself that, listen, you are gonna stay quiet and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And I was okay, but I was never like great or felt good about myself. It was really, really an eye-opening experience, like during just June when I was doing Pride stuff for Pride Month. And that was my first time ever doing press and talking about being queer and like all this stuff. And my, like, you know, since I've had my guard up for so long, when I got interviewed and like, so being queer and Latina, like, I was like, wait, hold up, like, how do you know that? Like, I was like, wait, rewind. I was oh, I'm out. This is okay.
Right.
It's all right. You know, I like caught myself because my defense mechanism was like, nah, what do you mean? You know, I don't know. I'm still kind of speechless about it. I'm still like, you know, working on my like relationships, like with my parents and stuff, just trying to get their full support. But that's not going to come from me. It's going to come from them whenever that time is for them to let go and, you know, literally let God, you know.
Right.
I feel like I'll be in a better place too.
I feel like I've heard you a couple times just being like, oh yeah, I did this with my mom yesterday and then stuff like that. So is it kind of like an unspoken thing? Because it sounds like on a base level, y'all are still cool.
We're still cool. My mom was the toughest cookie. We didn't speak for about 2 months after I told her the conversation. So that was the hardest pill to swallow. With my parents, it swept under the rug. I haven't talked about my sexuality to them since I came out to them. They don't bring it up. They don't care to bring it up. They've heard the album.
Yeah.
They've seen the music videos. I'm with girls in the music videos. But they don't say nothing.
After 2 years of just being like, again, like having it swept under the rug, being able to have conversations, maybe even enjoy holidays and stuff like that, is there any part of you that's just like, all right, you know, I know you guys to see it in the music video, you can hear it in the song, but like, are you anxious to kind of be like, it's me and Stacy for Christmas? Or it's me, like, where are you at? And like, no, we really gonna, like, I'm going to be full me in person.
I'm definitely not gonna do that.
Right, okay.
I'm definitely, I could not do that. I would need to build up to that when I get in my next relationship, whenever that is. If it's a woman, I plan on taking it real slow, but off rip, start telling people like right away. Obviously, like my friends know, my team knows, everyone that I'm comfortable with that I see on a day-to-day, they're gonna know. But once I know that this person is serious, then I will tell my parents and say, hey, just want to let you know, I'm in a relationship.
Got it.
Because I've always wanted to have someone to bring with me on Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving. Like that's like, everything you see in the movies, like I want that. I'm a hopeless romantic. Like I want that for myself. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But no, I would have to ease it in there. I can't just pull up and cause I'm the first like cousin and like niece to do that.
Okay.
I'm the first.
Okay.
And a Hispanic family.
Right. So you're not just pulling up to the reunion.
No. No. All of my tias are gonna be like, what? Who's this? And I'll be like, shit. And I'm gonna feel bad for her too. I'm gonna be like, damn, I cannot. No, I can't do that.
Start doing all that stuff.
No.
Who's your little friend?
I wish not even that.
Oh man.
They wouldn't even joke around. They wouldn't be like, oh, who's that? It's gonna be like, who's that?
The fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck is that? Not who is that?
Okay.
It's so tough, guys.
I'm sure.
Still working through it, guys. This is current time.
Yeah.
Only one way to start a barbecue off, and that is with a cold one.
Let's do it. The grill's ready to go. She's preheated. I'm gonna put the steaks on. What I like to do is start with 2 minutes once it's completely on, and then I pick them up and rotate them just so they have that perfect crisscross like grill marks for another 2 minutes. Flip, same thing, two. Okay. I'm looking and I'm aiming for a perfect medium. Medium, warm pink center, not bloody, but still juicy and has that perfect texture. Let's start with the first one. This is just the prime filet. Set them on there.
Sizzle.
Just like that. This is the Wagyu right here. Okay, you can do the last one. Yep, go ahead. Perfect. Okay, and now we close it up, set a timer for 2 minutes. And now we wait, and this part is when like I drink and like I just kick it, I play music.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do the first side. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's already looking good.
So it's just basically a little
You can go that. Yep, exactly. Same thing.
Okay, and then this here, bring this up to the front. Ooh, get off that. Okay.
Yep, perfect. Another 2 minutes. We're gonna flip it to the other side, but this time I go on a hotter part of the grill.
Okay.
So, look at that. Just flip it over on a new part of the grill.
Hot stuff.
Just like that. Another 2 minutes.
All right.
I mean, I don't know the proper temperature. It's just how you feel within. I cook my steaks like for my friends, and they only have good things to say about it.
Right, well.
So, and I can't even imagine if this is meat from a straight like butcher, that this is gonna be one of the best steaks probably I've ever had. Yeah, I'll have you do the crosshatch. Oh, it's looking so fucking good.
Okay.
Same thing, all four.
All right.
Close that shit. 2 minutes. Ooh, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. That's a plate. All right. That's what they're looking like now.
Hot stuff.
I'm just gonna put them on the top rack just as I'm going for that perfect medium. Oh yeah, they're good. I'm gonna just put it on the top rack to just, oh God. Actually, I'm gonna leave it there. People are gonna be like, you're supposed to eat it rare. Not here, not in this house. I can't do it yet, okay?
All right.
All right,
I'm gonna do minute 15 for safe measure, but after that, they'll definitely be good to go.
Cool.
I'm gonna have you slice some veggies
Oh
up.
yeah. I got you on that.
Yeah, I could feel it just by like pressing it.
Talking their shit. She knows.
Like this, like, oh my God, this is like, just touching it with the tongs right now is freaking me out in a good way.
So I'm reading this, at this point it's been, I think it's a 2022 interview, Rolling Stone, and the quote that you provided reminded me a lot of how someone talks after a really bad night out, which is, you know, man, I ain't drinking. Last night was it. And the thing that you said was my mindset during that relationship is if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna stop with women right there. Knowing that it didn't work out, what's up with you and these chicks? It's dead or nah? You're still rocking with them, right? Like you're still. So what about, because eventually the person who said they weren't gonna drink anymore realizes maybe I'm just not gonna drink like I did the other night. It could still be cool.
Yeah.
What was that? If it was a switch, what was that thing within you that said, I'm gonna dust myself off this relationship and be open to whatever's next? When did you get to that point where you were ready for just to accept whatever would come your way, whoever?
Honestly, like, I didn't get to that point till around 2022 when I was coming out to my parents, because when me and my ex broke up, we still decided to stay friends. Like 2 months later, we went maybe a month without talking. And then we started texting again randomly one day and decided to be friends. And like being friends wasn't good because we were hooking up.
Agony.
And so it was just like we'd hook up and be like, okay, well, what is this? Well, I don't want to be with you. Well, I don't want to be with you either. Okay, well, then maybe this isn't good. Ghost. Something would bring us back. Hook up again. Same combo. Separate. Come back. It was like nonstop for like the rest of 2021. And we broke up in August.
Oh, that's COVID era too. Y'all are lonely. It's quiet outside.
All we had was each other.
All we had.
Yeah, so yeah, then once we finally ended things and just cut everything off, and that's when I was like, okay, there's absolutely no going back. That last time we hooked up was our last time. No more sex, no more communication. It's just you, Des. So then I was focusing on myself, trying the best that I could, but I was partying and I was hanging around with the wrong crowd. I got into another little situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't love. It was more of just like, yo, you got to get on top of somebody to get over somebody. And so I found the person that was helping me fill that void. She wasn't a good person, hurt my feelings, and broke my heart, like kind of all over again. And then I was like, fuck. And then I got in another one.
Oh, okay.
That girl did the same thing.
Okay.
So that was 3 times. Then that was my point where I was like, I'm going to be single for as long as I can. And ever since then, I've been single.
Okay.
I've been single for like a year and a half.
To stop you at that point, that kind of brings me up to another great line on the album, which is, I've been on some self-love shit since me and you split.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip past the highlight breakup, which I guess is more so like takes up the most space on the album, more so to skip to the third asshole who did you wrong, the third asshole who did you wrong. And what does that look like when you're like, okay, the real good thing didn't work out. These two like gap fillers, let's say literally or figuratively. No. these two other additional placeholders.
Placeholders, yes, thank you.
Were no good.
No.
Now I got to lock in on me.
Yeah.
What were those decisions that you made, and maybe that kind of, insert therapy. What are some of those things and those, those mechanisms that you put into play to really grow as a person on your own?
Well, by then I was fully out, so I was telling everyone who those placeholders. That's what we're gonna call them.
Let's go.
The placeholders I was open with to like my sister, my cousins, my best friends, and so it's just so easy to be like, man, this bitch, da 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 da. And it's so easy to just get like advice, and like I could actually have a support system to go to when we were facing problems and they were doing stupid shit and treating me like shit. That helped me a lot. And then me always just like feeling just hurt, and it caused like a lot of stress and anxiety on me as well, because I'm like, why am I allowing myself to get hurt? And that was 3 times back to back. I'm crying over these girls, like, what's wrong with me type shit. And so the stress was so bad that it actually made me physically sick. So I was having chronic migraines all of 2023. I was in the ER twice. I was seeing different neurologists. I thought something was wrong with me. And I also was getting stress rashes. So I would wake up with my face red and lifted because I'm just so stressed. I'm going to bed stressed. I'm just always thinking. And I'm also like, me going through all of that was, it was like ruining my work ethic when it came to actual work. So I wasn't even working because I was so fucking hurt over these dumbass girls. It was fucking with everything. Everything was going to shambles because I was heartbroken 3 times in a row. And it wasn't stopping. It was the stress. It was me having to take care of my health. And I was sober for half the year last year because I was like, drinking is like my coping. Like it helps me relax and all that shit. But I was like abusing it. And I was always drinking. And so I was like, she's not good for me. Alcohol. She's not good for me. Cut it out. Until I felt better, and then I finally fucking felt better. But yeah, I still really wasn't in therapy then, but I just started like therapy again like 6 weeks ago or so.
Okay.
But I actually started going to church again. So I started going to church again and like opened that door and landed and like came into a really nice church that I feel like is home. And I've been working on like my relationship with God again and trusting him, and he's been walking in front of me and I'm following right behind him. So
I know it's still new, but what are some of the things that you're happy to be reconnected with, you know, when you're in that form, like in church and, you know, reading the word and praising him and all this other stuff? Because at the same time, there's this like, you know, it's just this split life. If you share in what it's supposed to be as defined by classic readings, like God says all this stuff is wrong, versus a more like sensible thing where if it's like, if this being, he, the universe, whatever, if this thing is about love and I am in his image, make it make sense how he's not messing with me. You know, what does it feel like to be in this place where you're, I would assume you're feeling love and you're feeling like these good things?
yeah.
How's that to be back after all that you've been through?
Oh man, I turned away from church once I came out because I was scared to step in a church building again. Because I was like, well, once I come out, all of my church family friends that I grew up with are gonna see, and they are gonna give me the cold shoulder. So I literally was like, okay, this is the end. I'm not going to church anymore. Until I was really at rock bottom and I was putting myself through all this hurt and I wasn't feeling loved from anything, anyone. No one was giving me that love that I needed to get through and fight through in that season. And I remember it was December of 2023, like this is recent. That's when I stepped foot back into church again, was because I was like, okay, 2023 was such a shit year. Even during then, I was like doing spiritual readings with like a medium, and I was like, medium, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I think medium.
I was getting crystals and doing readings and like trying to like find answers. I was like talking to the trees and talking to Mother. I'm trying to find like, am I on the right path? Like,
it's all around you.
I feel like I'm at a dead end now, you know? And it was December and I was like, I woke up like one morning and I was like, okay, this is like the last month of 2023. I'm gonna go to church and just leave everything in God's hands. Everything that I went through to start off 2024 strong. And then once I walked in there, I haven't missed a Sunday.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
Yeah, I have. I've missed a few,
right.
But like I like stopped going out on Saturday nights so I can make it to church in the morning. Sometimes I would still go out, but I would still step foot in the church, hungover, and I'm just like, oh, but at least I'm here. I'm working on it.
He loves you in all forms, man. Don't get it twisted.
Come as you are, y'all.
Even if you twisted.
Here, let me do it.
I know how to cut onion.
I don't have a proper way of cutting an onion.
Oh.
Because the way that the onion is like shaped, when you just do a slice, there's already like layers.
Yes. My impulse response is, what does it matter
then that's fine.
Oh, I can do this.
Yeah, no, you can do it. Just
No
peel
problem.
it off and just cut it. Like,
can
I really don't
definitely
care.
do it. Every time I cut onions at home, it's like, will this be the day that Brad loses the thumb?
In the future.
Yes.
You do it against the
See, this is what I was talking
No,
about.
I'm sorry. I know.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Like, this is honestly fine right here. You don't
Oh,
gotta
man.
you don't gotta dice it. You could just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay.
for this salad, you could just go like this. B-roll, B-roll, B-roll. And then I'll let you pour the vinaigrette in. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Either a father figure like person or your actual dad is featured on the end of the album.
Yeah, on Pray For Me.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess my question is, because he ends it essentially just like you described it, and I saw it in the video, essentially like just reiterating that I'm dad, I'm here for you, but we're going to pray on this and we're going to essentially entertain this as much as we need to because it's a phase and you'll get over it. If you were to, by the way, are you working on a new project right now? Are you working on the
for
follow-up
sure.
to this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So if mom or dad were to be featured on a track now, or are they saying the same thing? Or has there been any bit of growth that you can kind of be like, okay, the door is opening a little bit more?
That's so hard to tell. Since nothing has happened then, I haven't been inspired by that subject. You know what I mean? It kind of happened and it's still there. Nothing has progressed. In this next project, from what I'm talking about, I've kind of let that subject rest for a sec until maybe when I do bring someone around, then that's when I could talk about it and write about it, because I'll have something fresh to write about. But right now, I think it's literally just like self-growth and like literally loving myself fully for the first time and enjoying, like finding the real people in your life and the real ones that you consider like, you know, your best friends, instead of just people that can hang around you and just like be in the pictures with you on the gram.
Yeah.
That don't really give a fuck about you. So when you are heartbroken and when you are fucking broke and have no place to stay or don't have food for dinner, are they gonna give you money? Are they gonna loan? No. Like, I finally established that for me. So that was like
A core group.
I have my fucking group of friends that you guys are gonna see me with for the rest of my life. Like,
With the content that you were putting out in relation to the album, you know, there was a therapy series, and obviously that was like an acted out version of like things that truly happened.
Yeah.
Obviously therapy is like a very like intimate thing between you and the therapist who you're handing issues, concerns with, whatever. But if you don't mind sharing, what are some things or some tools that you learned that kind of help you unlock some things within yourself, or maybe some things you learned about yourself?
well, yeah, like, to be completely honest, like, during like the breakup era, I had like just like a life coach, but he was like a friend of mine's life coach, and he was like willing to just hop on the phone call for free whenever I was feeling sad. I would just talk to him for hours. So he wasn't like a specialized like therapist, which I have now. So I've been with her for 6 weeks. So now I have a specialized like therapist, but then it was just a life coach. So it was just kind of similar to just phoning a friend, and you know, but he helped me a lot. It wasn't how much, like, it wasn't like how it is now with my girl.
No, you know, so
that's like the difference right there.
Yeah, for better or worse, I think I haven't experienced either. So when you tell me life coach, I'm thinking like, is this someone who just like literally just pours gas in you and just like, yo, no, you got it? Like, was that what you were experiencing then? Okay.
Exactly. Therapists, when I said earlier, I'm not a fiery person because I was raised around a fiery family, like, she unlocked that for me and was like, well, you grew up with just straight trauma from your parents' marriage. So no wonder you get closed off because you don't want to resemble that. So that's like, she unpeels the layers and you get down to the center. You're like, oh, that's why I'm crazy. Oh, that's why I'm kind of soft when it comes, you know what I mean? So it's really nice getting to the core and like the meaning of, you know, how you act.
Got it.
How you feel about things.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Proper forks, all the above for me and the homie Destiny. And we're gonna be right in a minute in preparation for that steak.
All right, I got the star of the show.
Ooh, showtime.
And it's still hot.
Showtime.
Where do you want
There
it?
we go, right there.
Here they are. Juicy. Here, I'll put this on
Awesome.
your plate.
Thank you kindly.
Yep. And then I'll put this one also on your plate because we're
Okay.
taste testing here.
That's right. Oh, pardon.
No, you're good.
We'll dress
I'm like,
up
oh
as
yeah,
well.
the salad, duh.
Oh, yeah, we got
I
salad.
was like, fuck, I was ready to cut it open now.
Cook,
It's great. Hold on, wait for me.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Right? Oh, you
Cheers,
got that
cheers,
fine,
cheers,
finely
cheers.
sliced.
Yeah.
Here we go. When you start giggling to yourself a little bit,
I can't speak right now. It's medium well, however, it still hits like it don't matter what
no
temperature you
flavor
cook
was
it at.
lost. Well done. Well done.
Thanks for letting me do this.
I'm definitely gonna give you the credit you deserve in all forms. From the what is it called? The cross. The sear. Your searing
crisscross,
method.
the crisscross.
The crisscross sear marks.
The massaging, the seasoning, making sure
massaging, the
every
seasoning.
spot gets seasoned. Yeah.
The time on each side.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm a verbose person.
This
I
is
have
like-
so many words within me.
Uh-huh.
And today, in this very moment,
Shook.
the price of silence is up. And I'm just super appreciative of the time and our ability to break, not bread, but break steak.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Break steak. And man, I look forward to doing this again. But in
Absolutely.
the meantime, thank you so much. A lot of stress comes from essentially the idea of time travel. Like staying present is the best thing because you're literally just focused on this moment right here versus being like, damn, when this happened to me 2 years ago, 10 years ago, or dang, I wonder when this thing actually happens, if it's gonna go how I planned it. These are the myriad of ways where it could be a fucked up situation. So how are you at just staying in these moments and trying to be your best person like now? Do you think you're good at staying present? Do you think you're someone
no.
who's like good at staying in the
No,
moment? Yeah.
no, I'm not good at staying in the present.
Right, okay.
Like, no, I am just always thinking about what I'm gonna do with my first like big check. And my therapist like gives me homework and is like, write down your goals. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And so I wrote a list down and she was like, okay, yeah, you're gonna pay off your mom's mortgage, you're gonna help remodel your grandma's house, you're gonna this, and that. But there's nothing about what you're doing in 10 years for you. She's like, go buy your G-Wagon, go here, go there. Oh my God, you're right. Because I just, like I said, I think about everyone else before me. But anyways, yeah, present, working on it. Because I'm trying to be grateful for all of these little things. Even though I see my future already, selling out Madison Square Garden and headlining Coachella, I'm already there. I'm already fucking there. I already know what my set list is gonna sound like. I already know what I want my stage to look like. But I'm like, I don't know what I'm eating for dinner tonight. You know, it's like I know what I wanna wear. I know who I wanna roll with. You know, like I know all that shit already. I already fucking see all the TikToks of fans posting me. You know what I mean? Like I just think about
Oh, that's manifesting it. Yeah, I mean,
think
that's
about
as
it
important as anything.
all the time. And it's like, I'm just so there that I need to be here.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for me to be present, dude.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I wanted to touch on as well is because you mentioned about like in the relationship before and then just now, as far as like taking care of yourself and really locking in on that. Do you feel like that's at least something that you're getting better at? Because as kids, especially as one who is successful now and on, you know, has a great trajectory to be even more successful later, I get and understand the idea of like, oh, it's time to make sure everybody never has to ask for or want for anything again. But like you said, whether it's something as basic as, you know, dinner will be taken care of, whether it's, you know, seamless Uber, cooking a steak or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like you will figure that stuff out, but more so like the wellness and stuff like that, you know, and just doing like a personal meat check. There are times like when I'm running and I'm like, dang, I feel myself getting gassed. Oh, I don't really have to stop. I just have to slow down a little bit and stuff like that. And it's just like this internal thing that I can do where I'm just like, okay, I really need to pace things out. What are some of the things that are like destiny checks where you're just like, if you have them, like, do you really check in with yourself now?
Yes, 1,000%. I wake up in the morning and the first thing that I do is just ask myself like if I'm okay. And I kind of go through my like checklist of what I got to do today in my head. Like as soon as I wake up, being active I've been an athlete my whole life, so working out and breaking a sweat makes me feel so good, and I always do that right before I start like my day.
You were draining those jumpers the other day.
Oh, I was. You already know, catch me at the court. But no, yeah, like playing basketball, I grew up skateboarding and things like that, so I have these little hobbies that if I'm not working or whatever, keep my mind occupied, stuff like that. So I have the little things that make me happy that I know brings me joy. And brings me peace. I journal every night. Even if I don't have anything to write, I'll literally just put, I don't got nothing today, see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like, just put the pen to the paper and just jot shit down.
You know, experiencing this album and knowing, because it's so immersed in a moment, in an era that, and the way it ends, right? And it's probably why I like you from a fan perspective, from a listener standpoint. The album is like a great movie or a show to me in that I kind of have like it's weird to say this to the person that made it, but I kind of have an icky feeling, not because I really want to make sure I say this right. I kind of have an icky feeling when I finish the album because the hero doesn't necessarily win by the time I get to the end of track 10. Dad is still talking about pray it out. It's not like you end the album with a new girl or a boyfriend or anything like that. So I'm just like, man, I hope she gets through this shit. Like, I hope she makes it. In the midst of all the turmoil and all that stuff, what did you learn about you, and what was the good? What good do you kind of yank from all that?
The music. The good, I pulled good music out of it. Creating the album literally was like therapy for me too. For the first time ever, I'm able to be myself in sessions and like talking to songwriters about my sexuality and all these things for the first time, and just being so vulnerable. Like these songs on the album, I even got to just touch base with my musician side rather than just having a producer send me a pack and lay a hook down and build on that. Every song on the album was written with me and a guitar or me and piano. And then my producers, the Stereotypes, would just produce it out and make it what it is today. So for me to just go back and pick up the guitar again, literally crying in every session, I was crying before every song, was super healing. And I got to allow myself to be vulnerable and just break that wall down of like, girl, you don't need to have your guard up anymore. You're not okay, and that's okay. Break that shit and go on the microphone and say how you feel. Creating the album was the good that came out of it. Even though I was a shit show and I literally wanted to die, I came out with this beautiful piece of work that a lot of people are inspired by, and fans tell me every day how much it's helped them and how relatable it is, and that's literally all I want. Like, I want to inspire, I want to be that person that I didn't have growing up. I want people to feel safe and, you know, connected with me as a person and an artist.
And you're free.
And I'm free. I want to be an example to see what a free person feels like, so that they can see the reward at the end of the day. Because whatever they're going through, they're like, damn, one day I'm going to be like Destiny. One day I'm going to be like Des. I'm going to shine just like Des.
That's the gift for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Before these words hit me, I feel the. Is anybody cutting onions in this motherfucker? before it gets messy. This has been a blast. Always good to kick it with you. Looking forward to grabbing another drink with you. Schedule permitting. I know you got a lot going on. I'm excited for the new project and hopefully to catch you on the road too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Easy.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Sweet. Sounds good. Good to see you. Take care. Come here, you two. It's time. So this is the first one. Try that. That one's the Wagyu. This one's the prime.
They all banging.
But yeah, y'all can kill mine too. I'm done. It's fucked. It's so fucked in the best way. Oh shit.
I was also a little worried that I was like, don't get started on the interview too early now.
I know.
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
We